keep this basically conversational, but I do have like a couple questions for you to just like get it started. So for the recording, can you just like say your name and your job title?
So my name is Lisa Jaleff. I am a senior quality manager for Barton Mallow.
And what does your job title like mean? Like what, and also what does it mean to you?
My job title means that I assure quality assurance, which is different from quality control. It's quality assurance for all of our customers, GM, Chrysler, and Ford. Um, what it means to me is that I get to stay in the realm of being ethical and doing the right thing always.
Oh, that's really sweet. I love that. So like how did you want to get into this path?
This path chose me.
Okay.
So I would tell you that all of those ideas, all of those dreams that all of you have that come from back here, they're guiding steps. So from the very beginning, all right, when all of my cousins, family members, when we went camping, it's a little bit long, but you'll understand.
No, it's okay.
Um, they would all be out playing at the campgrounds, and I always found myself underneath the overhang of the fifth wheel camper building in the dirt. I would create all kinds of things in the dirt. And my path from there, uh, it just expanded. When I was in high school, I decided in my sophomore year that I wanted to take up drafting,
Mhm.
mechanical engineering. So I jumped in and I took basic and advanced at the same time.
Oh, wow.
I challenged myself, right? So that kind of depicts my personality.
Mhm.
Um, from there, I got a job doing that, but then the company went under. They failed, and I back then, which God forbid you ever experience, I sat in a gray room, literally gray, no windows, with gray filing cabinets and very gray old men that were not receiving of a girl at the time to be anywhere near their field. So when they closed, I had no desire to go back to that and fight those battles because I wasn't even equipped, right?
Mm.
And then when you fast forward all the jobs that I went through, I've done landscaping, I can read plans, I've done all of these things. And when I needed a job the most, John Carlo, which no longer exists, um, had an opening for a traffic control person. We call them flag people.
Mhm.
So 25 plus years ago, I was on the end of a stop slow paddle,
Oh,
but that wasn't enough for me,
yeah.
right? So I would tell you stay hungry, stay humble. And as I pushed through, I wound up being a flag person for about a season and a half. The following year, I was promoted to being a laborer. It means I had the shovel in my hand, but I was also put into quality control. From there, it had propelled. We used to work 16, 17, 18-hour days, go
Wow.
home, take a nap, get back up and go do it again. Well, determination, persistence in anything that you have a passion for gets you where you want to be, right? Manifestation begins at the level of thought. Um, so I wanted more. So I went back to school. I got my bachelor's degree in project management and I kept pushing. John Carlos shut the doors and I was going to go over to the inspection side with MDOT for just a minute. Well, 17 years later, I went back to the contractor, and now I am with Barton Mallow in a role that fits every area of my belief system. They promote people, uh, quality, so it all aligned. When I look backwards, there was many times in the middle with boots on the ground that it didn't seem like it was going to align, but it did. So don't let go of your dreams.
That's a really cute little story. I love it. So, You said that now it all like aligns and you feel like very comfortable in the workplace you work in now.
Mm-hmm.
What does
100%.
a typical work day look like for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, typical work day starts at about 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is not a field for the weak at heart, right? So it starts at about 4:30 in the morning so that I can get up and actually propel myself into the day. It starts with emails, responding to, so that you always have a time frame. You're not delayed in that. I don't believe in the 48-hour rule. I think that you could do better always. People are waiting for you to give an answer. It starts with emails. Sometimes I have certain days that I go up to the plant that I'm assigned to right now for our project with GM Flint. It has everything to do with communications, reading thousands of pages of specs to align. It is also reviewing specs that are given to us by our engineering company and making sure that they align with the most current specifications for whether it's concrete, water main, asphalt, storm, everything in the entire civil engineering aspect. So that's how I start my day.
That's really
It
sweet. Really cool.
it ends when it ends. There is no
I mean,
time frame
yeah.
in this field.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the weak.
No, it is not.
Why would you advise other girls to do it, especially like not seeing as much women in the field until like today?
Because, well, I've broken ground for many of you that are not tenderhearted, right? I would tell you that this field is very rewarding in the fact that there's both individual and team uh, awards, if you will. There's great satisfaction in being able to drive, and now I'm building buildings, right? But there's great satisfaction in driving down 10 to 15 roads on your way to the shopping mall, and you can say to your friends, you know, I was a part of building this road. There is a pride that comes within that you have made a difference, and it's visible. So it builds a lot of confidence, courage for those that want to go play in the dirt, if you will.
I love that. Leading on and like building on. So you said this job is not for the weak with the long hours and like the constant like everything. But like what advice would you give to women who are kind of like holding back on wanting to try to be a part of these fields?
I'd say stop. It's your fear that's holding you back,
Hmm.
right? There's been many advancements in like even my own field. We used to call it the good old boys club, and if you were a girl, you were stuck on the end of a stop slow paddle.
Hmm.
And it takes great courage and determination to go after your dreams. And I would say stop being afraid. Sometimes you have to do it afraid. I would never propose the idea fake it till you make it, because you're still operating in fear, right? And that restricts you, and it restricts your growth. I
Hmm.
would say stop. I would say go look for women like me that have paved the road for you and see what they did to stand up, to posture themselves with confidence, right? And that's what's going to promote more of you to get into this field. There's really nothing to be afraid of except your own confidence level. So build upon that.
I believe that, yeah. Well, personally, I'm just like really amazed that like I mean, because you did know from like a young age that you didn't really want to do like what other people were doing because she was like building in like the dirt and everything and she was like because I used to do that even myself, but like thinking about like doing these like hardcore fields with like all these like men is really like scary. And like no, you can't lie about that. And also knowing that these are going to be like long hours, it's not something that like just anybody can do. So it's really amazing that you could do it, especially for
Well, and again, I come back to you can do and accomplish anything. And I do mean that literally, that you put your mind to. You just have to get out of the way of yourself and your fear. And I couldn't speak highly enough of the phrase manifestation begins at the level of thought. everything I have, everything that I am started here, right? And you got to move that fear out of the way. And there's been times that, holy cow, real short story for you. Asphalt is heavy on the end of a shovel. And when I first started back then, I told you, as a laborer,
Mm.
my fear held me back. I jumped on the pile to move it forward with two other guys, and they moved me right off the pile. Like,
Oh.
they just pushed me right off. And because I didn't want to cause waves, I was afraid, I moved. And
Mhm.
then I thought about it. And the next day, we had another pile, and I jumped in the middle of that pile, and they tried it again. And I pushed them both off the sides because they weren't going to stop me from reaching my goals. So think about that. Sometimes you got to shove them away from you to, I hate to say this way, to gain their respect, to say, I'm not leaving, I'm here. And
Mhm.
that's the determination that I'm telling you guys you need to have.
Wow. I love that. Just push them a little. It's okay.
Well, they've pushed us for centuries. It's time we
Yep.
push back.
Yep. That's
Just
very
saying.
true. Well, again, thank you so much for your time and coming on the Zoom, even though I bet your morning started way earlier than now.
Yes, it did. But it's okay. I love opportunities like this.
We're great. We're really happy to have you.